So you might be an absolute star on the pitch, a champion on the court, or just unbeatable on the track. But are you ready to actually win the exam? Well, this is your official game plan. We're going to break down exactly how to turn all that performance knowledge into exam success.
And that's a really important question, right? Because physical talent, that gets you so far in the actual game. But the higher PE exam, that requires a whole different kind of strategy. It's all about digging into the why and the how behind every single move. And that is exactly what we're going to tackle today.
Okay, so let's think about your higher PE course like it's a massive championship match. It's got two totally distinct halves. And you know what? You've got to be strong in both of them if you want to take home the prize. So on one side, you've got the performance. That's you, in action, your practical skill on display. But then you've got the other half, the exam. This is where you prove you actually get the theory behind what you're doing. And that exam is our whole focus today. We're going to build the ultimate strategy for it. You know, every great athlete scouts their opposition. Well, in higher PE, your opposition are all the things, the factors that can make or break a performance. To win, you have to know them inside and out. So let's meet the lineup. First up to bat, we have mental factors. This is all about your inner game. Just picture a golfer, okay? They're lining up a putt that could win them the whole tournament. Their concentration, their ability to make the right call under that immense pressure, that is the mental factor in action. Next up, emotional factors. I mean, come on, sport is a total emotional roller coaster. A last-minute goal brings that pure, unbelievable joy, but then a missed penalty can trigger some serious anxiety. The real key here is just getting that these feelings directly, and I mean directly, influence how you perform. Then, we've got the social factors. Let's be real, you're almost never performing in a vacuum. How well are you clicking with your teammates? Does a roaring crowd pump you up or make you nervous? That whole social dynamic, it has a massive, massive impact. And finally, the one we all know pretty well, physical factors. This is all about what your body brings to the table. And it's not just about raw fitness, like sheer power and agility. It's also about your technical skills, things like accuracy, and your tactical smarts out on the field. So, okay, you know the factors. Great. But how do you actually use that knowledge to get better? Well, you need a training regimen. And in higher PE, that regimen has a name, the cycle of analysis. Now, this is basically a four-step loop that just keeps on going. First, you investigate by gathering data. Then, you analyze that data to figure out what's going well and what isn't. Next, you develop a plan to work on those weaknesses, and this is the crucial part, you evaluate how it's all going, and then you start the whole cycle over again. It is literally the engine of improvement.
Okay, team talk time. We've got the factors down, we've got our training cycle. Now we need to learn the actual rules of the exam game. And the most important rules, by far, are the command words. These little words tell you exactly what you need to do to answer a question properly.
Just look at how the demand here goes up as you move down this list. Identify is your simple starting point. Just name it. Describe wants a bit more detail about it. Explain is where you have to give the why. And then you get to the big ones, analyze and evaluate, where you're really breaking things down and making judgments. Each one builds on the last. But you know what? It all starts with absolutely nailing identify. And for today, we're going to zero in on that one foundational skill. Seriously, if you can master identify, you are building the perfect base to tackle all the others. Yeah, it's the simplest command word, but getting it right every single time is non-negotiable. So here's the absolute crucial point. When a question asks you to identify, it just wants a name, a label, a single point. You're like a detective pointing at a piece of evidence. That's it. Do not get tempted to write a whole paragraph. Just point and name. Let's look at a classic example. Identify two emotional factors. Okay, what could you say? Super simple. Anger, fear. That's it. You've named them. Job done. You've just banked 2 marks. And this principle works no matter what the topic is. Here's another one for you. Identify one method of collecting data. A perfect answer? The bleep test. See? You've recognized it, you've named it, you didn't explain how it works or what it measures, you just identified it. That's the game.
This side-by-side really makes the difference crystal clear, doesn't it? For identify, your answer is anxiety. Boom, perfect. But for explain, you've got to go deeper. You name it, anxiety, and then you have to connect it to the impact, the how. It causes muscle tension, which then reduces accuracy. See the difference?
All right, so you've got the factors down. You understand the cycle. You're starting to decode command words. Now it's time for the main event, where all these skills get tested at once, the scenario challenge.
This is it, the final and biggest hurdle of the whole paper. It'll give you a situation, maybe a performer who's struggling or one who's excelling, and then it'll ask you to use a specific command word, like explain or analyze, with what you know about two different factors. This is your moment to really show off, to connect all that theory directly to a real-world example. So, that's the whole field of play. We've looked at the players, the process, and the rules. Now let's just boil it all down into one winning game plan that you can carry with you right into that exam hall.
Here it is, your 3-step plan to victory. Step 1, know your 4 factors: mental, emotional, social, and physical, like the back of your hand. Step 2, always, and I mean always, use the cycle of analysis to structure your thinking about improvement. And step 3, maybe the most important of all, decode that command word. Are they asking you to identify, to explain, or to evaluate? Give the examiner exactly what they ask for, no more, no less.
Okay, the whistle is about to blow. You've got the strategy, you've scouted the opposition, you know the rules, so the only question left is what's your first move to make sure you're ready for game day?